All right, guys, thought we could go over the car collection again and the whole vehicle type of everything I've put together over the last few years. And I was thinking yesterday that this kind of like looking at it from up here, from back at this vantage point, this reminds me of my whole micro machine collection I used to have when I was little. As a matter of fact, I'd still have that if I knew where they were. Those are probably buried in sand in Central Florida somewhere right now, and probably near Zephyr Hills somewhere. And I would play with those micro machines for hours. And when, like I said, once you're back looking at it from this looks like the whole collection. I was really, really big into the army and the military. Little tanks and jets and trucks and yeah. So that's what this kind of reminds me of. But this is kind of all what I've put together. You might think like when we zoom in, some of these really look like dog turds, but you have to remember some of these are even from the beta. Like I was building on these before we even had wheels. Like some of these are way, way old. So let's just we'll roll through them here a second. And I think everything you see here is on the workshop right now. So if you go to my workshop and you're kind of looking for any of these and you don't see them, let me know and I'll make sure they all get uploaded. I'm pretty sure most of it is. Maybe not the ship. Maybe we'll start with the ship. This was like a World War II type destroyer that I put together. Micro Joe and I were talking on Twitter one day, and he had showed me this piece of concept art. I think it was an Intamin launch coaster where it was based on like the launch was on the deck of this ship. Their version was kind of more of an aircraft carrier than a destroyer, but so that really was kind of what got me going one day on the whole trying to build this kind of battleship type deal with the little. They got the plane hanging up over here with the crane. And so that's kind of what come about with that. And a lot of these vehicles, they didn't necessarily have a purpose, more so like I saw a piece of concept art, went into just a blank map and just built the vehicle and maybe never touched it again. So all of this stuff, sometimes I'll go into Planet Coaster just to build a restaurant and then it has no purpose other than I felt like building a restaurant. No park purpose, no request. So that is what happened with some of these. Now, starting out here, this is kind of my two versions of the Batmobile. Really cool how these come out. As soon as the Munsters pack come out and we started getting tires, started getting wheels, I had to do a new version. And when we got the little glass pieces as well, I knew I wanted to redo the whole windshield. But yeah, really, really happy with how those come out. I've seen those used a couple times in people's Batman's builds, and so that's always really neat to see. Moving over here more to the right, we've kind of got like these are kind of like just early Main Street kind of Omnimover transport rides. I've got the Safari version here and the regular just Main Street version. So maybe go back and redo those one day because I had a lot of fun building those, but they kind of look kind of crappy now as I look at them, but still, like I said, still a lot of fun. One of the newer sets here, this is my Jurassic World kind of truck set we have going on here. And we've got these guys over here about to get mauled and killed by a raptor. Then back here, you've just got the regular unpacked truck version. And then, of course, we've got the larger hauler version here, kind of hauling the Castaways T-Rex there put that together back when the TMTK first came out. And then I've just got some stylized colored, Jurassic Park type Jeeps right there when the wheels came out and when that whole adventure pack came out, that made that a lot easier. I got the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang car here. That was a big request of my buddy Mike Greenslade. Wanted me to try that, so that's kind of how that come about. Then, of course, back here, the enormously oversized Beverly Hillbillies truck. But like I said, back when I did this, this was all I had to work with. We were making art shapes out of the tires. So, and then I hadn't even actually started with or heard of the Archer method yet. So that's the Bro Nation kind of Archer method. And this is a prime example of that. This is my very first Ecto 1. This was before the Archer method, and you can see how large and how disastrously just overscaled that was. And then I'm pretty proud of this because, okay, this one right here, this is the DLC, the Ghostbuster pack that was just released a couple months ago, month or two ago. And this was before that pack came out. So this was my rescaled Ecto 1, and this is what Frontier did. So I was not too far off on my second try. And I noticed, too, with the Frontier version, they don't have a lot of the verbiage that you see, like the "We Believe You" and all that. Theirs is just, they've got the stickers on there and the Ecto 1 license plate, but I just noticed they don't actually put that "We Believe You, call us" verbiage on there. So interesting stuff. Up here, this is my future. I was in a really, really heavy kind of like futuristic type set when I did these. So these are like, all hover-based futuristic vehicles. You've got the fire truck, police car. You've got the prisoner transport vehicle right here, really heavily armored vehicle. You've got the futuristic school bus right there, and it all started right here with this trash truck. So this is kind of like my futuristic trash truck. I thought it would be cool, it would cut down on the need for landfills, because once the machines here picked up your trash, it immediately incinerates it, and then that in turn fuels the truck. So I figured that would be pretty cool if they could come up with that one day somehow too. It's like a self-sufficient fuel truck and garbage fleet, because like I said, as soon as they collect it, it breaks it down and turns it into energy for the garbage truck. So I thought that'd be pretty cool. And this is kind of like an autonomous, generic FedEx truck that I figure would show up one day, if it's not a drone, and would drop packages off at your house. That might not be too good for my FedEx driver buddies out there, though. I don't know if that's not very good job security. And then right here is my alien power loader suit and my Pandora suit. Thought that was pretty neat. Actually got the little animatronic, got the guys up in there. Worked on this big guy a couple years ago. This is my Optimus Prime. It's about as close as I could get him. Had a lot of fun working on this. A lot of trial and error on old Optimus, but in the end, I think it come out pretty cool. Especially, I love the way his feet and his legs kind of connect to the ground like that. Just a lot of fun building Optimus. And here's RC from Toy Story. Haven't got to go see the new Toy Story yet, but I've been hearing good things about it. Moving up here, this blueprint made a huge splash on the workshop. I do not know why you guys ate this up so much, but this is my little jungle food truck with our little rat, our little mouse down here running around, and our snake and our two crows up here kind of greeting you as you're putting in your order. But kind of put that together right when the adventure pack came out, and you guys, that was a smash hit with you guys. This is one of the newer models. This is my safari truck that you guys have been seeing and keeping up with in the safari park, so I definitely had a lot of fun building on that. And let's see, these are just kind of like some of my little generic work trucks here, kind of based off when I was in that safari truck kind of mood. Got those safari trucks going. Really, really fun right here. These are kind of like just all my vehicles based off the tank. Kind of, I guess, maybe a little like post-apocalyptic type of trucks. This is kind of like my version of a snowplow here. Really, really like how that come out. That yellow just pops. And so just kind of like regular tracked trucks there for you. And kind of we'll move down over this way. This is my motorcycle and my little tram. I love the trams at any theme park, Disney, Dollywood, doesn't matter. I love taking the trams and the ideas. I think when I retire one day from my actual job, I am going to be a tram truck driver, just because I just think it's so cool. It's just always been awesome to me. And there's my little try at a motorcycle right there. Here is my futuristic little just scrap truck. So this guy goes around and just collects scrap metal and hauls it off. This is my Shrek school bus that I built for my buddy Klaus, aka Spanky. You may know him from the workshop. He did an actual a TMTK Shrek. So that is Spanky's Shrek school bus that I made for him. Here is my Mater, little Cars tow truck there. This is my Mars rover. Pick it up on the workshop if you're having a need for that. This is kind of like my Captain Nemo submarine. I was in a real kind of like I was thinking like what if we try to recreate Tokyo Disneyland in Planet Coaster. So maybe we'll I don't know, that might have to hold off for a Planet Coaster 2 type deal, but that was kind of like my Jules Verne type of submarine kick I was on. This is kind of like my little decorative train, you know, the train in Animal Kingdom that takes you over to Rafiki's Planet Watch. So I always love the way that train looks, and with all the junk and the supplies up on top. Kind of moving over here, this is my Mad Max. Kind of like my little Mad Max kick I was on. This was obviously the early scaled version. And then once we got the truck, I kind of scaled it down and like I mentioned, used the Archer, the kind of like the Archer school of scale. And these are just some kind of like little off crazy trucks, 3-wheeled cars. This is my little dilapidated steamboat here. This is kind of like my little Waterworld boat, so I figured like this guy actually is adrift at sea, and this is where he lives. This is his boat, so he's got a couple plants that he keeps going, and he kind of just, I figured he would just grab, he finds and uses supplies kind of, as he floats along, and he kind of grabs up and scoops up whatever he can find. I think this is my most subscribed item ever on the workshop. Really, really early version of the Flying Dutchman. So I've used this in a couple builds, but this really took off really cool on the workshop, and it got featured a couple times. So that really helped on different people's builds. This is my Sea Duck plane. A lot of fun building that, land right on the water. This was my first ever try at a plane. Really, really, I remember how giddy I was back when I first built this because I put it on the workshop, and Bo and Andy Fletcher actually featured this on one of their early Workshop Wonderland episodes, and I remember I was just like gushing when I saw it, because you know how they'll pull up the blueprint screen when they're talking about other ones, and I saw it and I'm like, oh my God, are they going to use my plane? And they did, so that was really, really cool. This is just kind of like my Island Hopper jet right here that I put together in the lagoon map, that one where you guys really, really like the water. And so that's kind of what I put together on that map. And here's another one that Planet Coaster featured. It's just kind of like my flying little airship version here. So really thought that was cool. But so yeah, guys, that is the collection as of July 2019. I don't think I'm missing any. This is all that I've put together. The only one I think I might not have put down is the zombie bus, but I think I might have accidentally deleted that. I went through a big workshop purge, and I think I deleted that by accident. I'm not totally sure. But anyways, yeah, don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you end up enjoying this video, and let me know down below if you end up using any of these vehicles, or if you've used them in the past, and tell me what your favorite one is. So yeah, guys, I'm SDN Wolf. Thank you for stopping by and hanging out with me, and I will catch you in the next video. Thank you. See you guys.